ever thought about how much our daily drinks have shaped human history? From the first sip of beer to the global dominance of Coca-Cola, the drinks we consume have influenced cultures, economies, and even the course of entire nations. Today, we'll dive into the stories behind 6 drinks that changed the world, drawing from Tom Standage's fascinating book, A History of the World in 6 Glasses. What can our favorite drinks tell us about the great adventure that is human history? Stick around to find out. It's more than just a drink. It's a cornerstone of civilization. 10,000 BC in Mesopotamia, the cradle of human civilization, hunter-gatherers have just settled down to farm, and grain is their go-to crop. With grain, they make bread, and then, almost by accident, they discover beer. The ingredients for beer were everywhere: water, grains, and wild yeast. And because beer had to be boiled during brewing, it was safer to drink than plain water. As humans transitioned from a nomadic lifestyle to settling in villages, beer became a central part of their social structure. It was used in religious ceremonies, as offerings to gods, and even as currency. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, there's a wild creature named Enkidu. He's untamed, a true wild man until he drinks beer. This act transforms him, making him human, civilized. This story beautifully encapsulates beer's role in society, a drink that brought people together and marked a shift from wild nature to human culture. Beer was so integral to Mesopotamian life that they even had a goddess of beer, Ninkasi. The ancient Sumerians had over 20 types of beer, each with its own unique flavor and purpose, showcasing the drink's versatility and importance. Beer is often called the great equalizer. Rich or poor, everyone enjoys a good pint. Think about it. Today, construction workers and bankers can head to the same pub after work for a beer. It's a drink that transcends social barriers and brings people together. From the earliest days of civilization to our modern world, beer remains a humble yet powerful symbol of human connection. From its origins, has been synonymous with culture and sophistication. The first wine was made in 6000 BC. However, it wasn't until 870 BC that wine truly gained prominence. Assyrian king Ashurnasirpal II threw an extravagant feast and served wine, making it a noble drink. Its production was limited to warmer, fertile climates, so it thrived in the Mediterranean, especially in Greece. Greek culture and wine were the perfect pairing. The Greeks were known for their sophistication and intellectual pursuits, and wine fit right in. They held symposiums, which were essentially philosophical drinking parties. Here, philosophers like Socrates and Plato would gather, wine in hand, to discuss deep and meaningful topics. The Greeks believed that wine had the power to reveal the truth. They saw it as a divine gift from the gods, particularly from Dionysus, the god of wine and pleasure. They even had a saying, in vino veritas, meaning, in wine there is truth. Socrates argued that drunkenness offered the benefit of allowing you to encounter your dark side and gain mastery over it. He believed that drinking wine in moderation was a mark of strength, as it opened the door to man's animal passions, yet true intellect could maintain control. The Romans took wine from the Greeks, but removed the hedonistic elements. They believed in moderation and saw wine as a drink for the accomplished and the cultured. Roman banquets were elaborate affairs where wine flowed freely, yet the emphasis was always on maintaining decorum and self-control. Today, wine is still associated with culture and sophistication. While beer is perfect for a casual backyard barbecue, wine is the drink of choice for formal events. Weddings, graduations, anniversaries, and dinner dates often wouldn't feel complete without a good bottle of wine. It's a drink that brings a sense of occasion and celebration. Spirits, or hard liquors, have a history intertwined with exploration, colonization, and even slavery. The process of distillation, which involves heating and cooling wine to extract its alcoholic component, emerged at the end of the first millennium. This burnt wine, known as brandy in English, initially gained popularity as a medicine. However, By the 16th and 17th centuries, it became much more than that. The age of exploration saw European powers discovering and exploiting new lands. One of the most significant finds was cane sugar in the New World. This lucrative crop required intensive labor to cultivate and process, leading traders to rely on slave labor. Distilled spirits played a central role in this grim chapter of history. Brandy was used as currency by traders, and the introduction of sugar led to the creation of new spirits, such as rum. Rum, in particular, became a staple of the age. In the 17th century, it gained popularity just in time for the Age of Sail. Its stability and high alcohol content made it the perfect drink for sailors, including pirates and privateers, and even officers in the Royal Navy. It was easier to transport and didn't spoil like beer or wine. The American colonies, too, had a deep relationship with rum. It became the first drink of choice, and its popularity was such that Britain imposed taxes on it. This led to a cat-and-mouse game of smuggling and taxation that contributed to the growing tensions leading to the American War of Independence. American generals, including George Washington, ensured their troops had a steady supply of rum, underlining its importance. Rum was also a key player in the infamous triangular trade. European traders exchanged rum for slaves in Africa, transported the slaves to the Americas, and then shipped sugar and molasses back to Europe to produce more rum. This cycle perpetuated the brutal system of slavery and fueled the economies of the colonial powers. Spirits have always had a dual character in society. They can be enjoyed in refined settings, taste-tested by connoisseurs, or consumed carelessly in more rowdy environments. This duality is a testament to their widespread appeal and significant impact on history. From fueling the age of exploration to playing a role in the birth of nations, spirits have left an indelible mark. Spirits also symbolize the convergence of different cultures. Take whiskey, for instance. It originated in Ireland and Scotland, but became an integral part of American culture, especially in the southern United States. The drink that wakes us up and fuels our day. Its origins trace back to the first millennium AD in Arabia, where it was initially consumed as a stimulating beverage. Coffee didn't make its way to Europe until the 17th century, but once it did, it spread like wildfire. Coffeehouses sprang up across Europe, becoming hubs of conversation and creativity. In England, the first coffeehouse opened in Oxford, where it quickly became a meeting place for intellectuals. Here, figures like Christopher Wren and Isaac Newton would gather to exchange ideas over a cup of coffee. By the late 1600s, coffeehouses had earned the nickname penny universities. For just a penny, anyone could buy a cup of coffee and join in the intellectual discussions. One famous coffeehouse, Lloyd's of London, started as a place where merchants and sailors could gather to hear the latest shipping news. It eventually evolved into Lloyd's of London, the renowned insurance market. For Enlightenment thinkers like Voltaire and Rousseau, it was said that Voltaire drank up to 40 cups of coffee a day, believing it sparked his prolific writing. These coffeehouses were the breeding grounds for revolutionary ideas, contributing to the intellectual ferment that led to significant historical changes. Coffee's association with intellectualism and creativity continues today. Students flock to coffee shops to study. Writers and artists seek inspiration over a cup, and business meetings often take place in the cozy environment of a cafe. Coffee fuels our modern work culture, providing the energy needed to tackle complex tasks and long hours. The global spread of coffee also shaped trade and agriculture. Initially, Arabia was the sole producer, but by the 18th century, European nations began establishing coffee plantations in their colonies. Places like Java, Brazil, and Guatemala became synonymous with coffee production, creating global supply chains that still exist today. This simple drink has a profound history that intertwines with trade, empire, and revolution. Invented in China, tea was popularized by Buddhist monks around the 6th century BC. When Europeans first encountered tea in the 16th century, they quickly became enamored with it. However, it wasn't until the 17th century, with the marriage of King Charles II of England to Catherine of Braganza, that tea began to gain popularity in Britain. Tea became a staple in British society, crossing class lines from the nobility to the working class. Its introduction dovetailed with the British Industrial Revolution, fundamentally changing work patterns. Tea's caffeine provided the energy needed for long hours in factories, allowing workers to break free from natural circadian rhythms. The East India Company, granted a monopoly on trade by the British Crown, played a crucial role in making tea a global commodity. The company's aggressive trade practices and its involvement in the opium trade with China led to the Opium Wars. These conflicts, culminating in China's defeat in 1842, opened China to British trade and solidified Britain's global dominance. Tea wasn't just a commodity, it was also a political tool. The Boston Tea Party of 1773 was a direct protest against British taxation on tea. American colonists, frustrated with taxation without representation, dumped an entire shipment of tea into Boston Harbor. This act of defiance was a catalyst for the American Revolution, showcasing tea's power to incite change. Tea's role in the Industrial Revolution was pivotal. It was cheap, accessible, and provided a steady source of caffeine, making it the perfect drink for factory workers. The tradition of afternoon tea, established in the 19th century, became a symbol of British culture and refinement, further embedding tea in the social fabric. Tea's influence extends beyond Britain. In Japan, the tea ceremony, or chanoyu, is a deeply spiritual and aesthetic practice that reflects Japanese culture's emphasis on mindfulness and simplicity. In Russia, tea is often enjoyed with a samovar, a metal urn used to boil water, highlighting the drink's cultural significance. Today, tea remains a global staple. Its varieties, from black to green to oolong, are enjoyed worldwide, each with its own unique flavor and cultural significance. Tea's history of trade, empire, and revolution is a testament to its enduring appeal and power. This fizzy drink is a symbol of modernity and American culture. The story of soda begins in the 18th century with the invention of carbonated water, which was initially used as a medicinal cure for various ailments. The real breakthrough came in the 19th century, when entrepreneurs began adding flavors to this carbonated water, creating the first sodas. John Pemberton, a pharmacist in Atlanta, Georgia, invented Coca-Cola in 1886 by mixing carbonated water with a syrup containing coca leaves and cola nuts. Originally marketed as a tonic, Coca-Cola quickly became popular. Its rise was fueled by clever marketing and the temperance movement, which promoted non-alcoholic beverages. During World War II, Coca-Cola was included in the rations of American soldiers. This not only boosted morale, but also introduced the drink to people around the world. As soldiers returned home, their fondness for Coca-Cola helped solidify its place in American culture. Coca-Cola's aggressive marketing and distribution strategies made it a global phenomenon. By associating the brand with happiness and freedom, Coca-Cola became more than just a drink. It was an embodiment of the American dream. The iconic image of Santa Claus, popularized by Coca-Cola advertisements, further entrenched the brand in the cultural fabric of the world. Soda's impact on global culture cannot be overstated. It represents both the positive and negative aspects of American influence. On one hand, it's a symbol of innovation, marketing genius, and the spread of American culture. On the other hand, it highlights issues like consumerism, health concerns, and the spread of Western dietary habits. Cola, Pepsi, and other soda brands have become household names across the world. The sweet, fizzy taste of soda is enjoyed by people from all walks of life, from street vendors in India to high-end restaurants in New York. However, the rise of soda has also led to significant health issues. The high sugar content in sodas has been linked to obesity, diabetes, and other health problems. This has sparked a backlash against soda in recent years, with many countries implementing taxes on sugary drinks and promoting healthier alternatives. Throughout history, beverages have not only quenched our thirst, but also played pivotal roles in shaping cultures, economies, and societies. From beer's role in early human civilization to tea's impact on British imperialism, each drink has its unique story that intertwines with our own. What we drink tells a story about who we are. These beverages are more than just drinks. They are cultural icons that reveal much about our history and values. They have been catalysts for social change, symbols of power and prestige, and even causes for rebellion. Each sip is a connection to the past, a reminder of the complex interplay between culture, commerce, and consumption. Consider this: what will be the next beverage to change the world? Will it be a drink that harnesses new technologies, perhaps one that addresses global health issues or environmental concerns? Or will it be a rediscovery of ancient brews and concoctions that bring us back to our roots? The possibilities are endless, and the journey of discovery is ongoing. Let us know your favorite drink and share your thoughts in the comments about what you believe could be the next world-changing drink.